Are more people moving to or from DC? If you live in DC, you know it's a very transient city. People move in, people move out, very common and happens all the time. But if you ask different people this question, I think you'll get different answers. And the real answer is that between 2021 and 2020, there was a higher net migration out of the city. More people were leaving. A lot of that was kind of related to the pandemic and maybe people not wanting to be in the city if they were going to spend so much time at home. But in 2022, that trend reversed and there was a net increase of 3,000 people. So a lot of people moved both in and out, but the net difference was 3,000. It's not that only 3,000 people moved. Why does this matter in real estate? Well, supply and demand are the factors that create our housing market, and it represents the number of people that need a place to live in DC and the demand for housing. So when the number of people moving to DC is greater than the number of people leaving, this results in a population increase of primarily adults that need a place to live. So who is moving to DC? So one of the most striking numbers to me was that 68% of people moving to DC are between the ages of 18 and 34. So these are your young professionals and potentially college students. Who is moving from DC? It's a slightly older demographic, and it is 56.3% of people between the ages of 25 and 44. Where are people moving from? Well, naturally, the majority of people moving to and from DC are moving from Maryland and Virginia, or moving to Maryland and Virginia. There's a lot of movement within those three states since DC is pretty small. But it is very interesting that where people are moving from, so Virginia had more people moving into DC than Maryland. And then outside of DC, the two main states were New York and California. Actually, New York is one of the biggest places where people move to DC from. Maybe it's slightly cheaper. Where are people moving to? So this is reversed. In the DC area, more people move to Maryland, significantly more people move to Maryland than to Virginia. Maybe that has to do with affordability. I think Maryland might be a little bit more affordable, especially close in than Virginia. And then outside of the DC area, California and New York remained the primary outgoing destinations. So an interesting note from DC's Office of Planning is that they believe that outmigration is primarily driven by people seeking more affordable housing in the region. And they feel that positive net migration is an important factor in the growth and health of the economy in DC as a whole. So overall, it's very positive for the overall economy that there was a positive net migration. And to me, it's just interesting to learn a little bit more about where people are moving from and to.